Good afternoon, all. Today's topic is facial nerve paralysis. This facial nerve paralysis has been classified into upper motor neuron paralysis and lower motor neuron paralysis. Already you have gone through your anatomy. Okay, this facial nerve paralysis classification is based upon the course of nerve and various causes. It may be of extratemporal cause or intracranial cause or extracranial cause. Then, depending upon the degree of dysfunction, this classification has been made. Okay. Then first one, you just go through the slide. I will explain. First one is the intracranial causes. That means central causes, vascular abnormalities, CNS degenerative diseases, tumors of intracranial cavity like glioma, uh, etc. Trauma to the brain, and congenital abnormalities in agenesis. Then intratemporal causes, the bacterial as well as viral infections. Cholesteatoma is one of the common cause in case of facial nerve paralysis. Then trauma, internal brain injuries, that is blunt temporal bone trauma, longitudinal and horizontal fractures, tumors invading the middle ear, mastoid and facial nerve. Then iatrogenic causes. The iatrogenic causes means the infections which occur in the hospital level. Then coming into the extracranial causes, is malignant tumors of parotid gland, trauma, iatrogenic causes, primary tumors of facial nerve, malignant tumors of the ascending ramus, mandible, pterygoid region and skin. This is the recent classification, Ranier-Ziesch's classification, congenital, neurological, neoplastic and infections. You just go through the slide. Then coming into the major nerve fiber components of facial nerve. This is a basic component. Okay. First of all, you must know what are the covering layers of facial nerve. Okay. This is the epineurium, is the outer most layer, is a nerve sheath. Okay. Then coming into the next one is a perineurium. The green color portion is called as perineurium, which encases the entire endoneural tubes, which holds the entire small bundle fibers, is a perineurium. Okay. The inner portion, the dots portion, have a small gaps or white gaps, is called as endoneurium. We have visualized the single portion of the dot, the expansion of Schwann cell. The yellow portion is called as axon. Okay, this is the entire explanation of the facial nerve fibers. Okay, this is the various components of facial nerve. Due to the problem of this, any component which can result in facial nerve paralysis. Okay. Then coming into the first one, pathophysiology, is the most commonest one is a Siddon's classification, neuropraxia. That means there is a physiological blockage of the facial nerve. And in that case, what will happen? Nerve is intact, then function comes back to normal within 1 or 2 weeks. This kind of blockage occurs when there is a sudden compression while handling the other structures like operations. The facial-maxillary operations la teeth remove பண்றப்ப தெரியாம accidentally they can compress the facial nerve. Because of that, it can lead to neuropraxia. That is like a compression. Okay. After that, the nerve impulses are coming back to the normal one. Such kind of, it is considered as an injury. It's called a neuropraxia. In that, there is no problem of the epineural as well as endoneural structures. There is a mild disruption of the vascular portion. Then coming into the next one, axonematosis. It is a damage which occurs in the endoneurium, but there is no significant axon disruption. Okay, there is a mild amount of nerve sheath has been disturbed, not lost. Okay, that is called as axonematosis. Then coming into the neuronematosis, is the most severe form of facial nerve paralysis, in that complete degeneration of the epineurium, perineurium or endoneurium, all these layers are getting destructed. In case of neurotomatosis, the partial recovery sometimes occur by regeneration, may occur, it takes more than 6 months or 7 months. Okay. Then coming into the next one, this is the nervation of the facial nerve. You all know that Then coming into the facial nerve, as I told already, these 5 fingers. The first one is a temporal one, zygomatic, buccal, mandibular, and cervical one. Then coming into the distribution, okay, these things are already gone in your anatomy. Then various functional components, as explained in the slide. These things are various supplies, nerve supplies, nerve to stapedius, stylohyoid, where it's supplying. Then sensory, what are the functions are going on. Then motor, everything has been explained in this slide. Then this is the most important one. Depending upon the level of nerve injury, this clinical features has been classified. Okay, this is an internal artery canal. Suppose the injury occurs in this area, it can result in loss of lacrimation, the loss of stapedial reflex, the loss of taste, then anterior two-thirds of the tongue has been affected, lack of salivation, everything is getting more predominant. Then coming into the genital ganglion level, in that we have a dry eye, dry mouth, diminished taste sensation occurs, gastroparesis superficial also involved. Then at the internal artery canal, it involves in the paralysis of eighth nerve. It is slowly developing and complete loss of facial nerve function which occurs at the internal artery canal itself. Then tympanomastoid sections, loss of stapedial reflex as well as chorda tympani. When there is a chorda tympani nerve involvement, what will happen? It results in less taste sensation. In case of parotid level, we have a individual branches are involved. There is no disruption in case of hearing, as well as salivary flow as well as taste sensations are getting normal. Okay. Then coming into the facial nerve paralysis is mostly a unilateral one. When it occurs at the higher level, nuclear level, the complaints will be getting more prominent. Okay, this is the facial nerve paralysis. This is the grading depending upon the derangement and symptomatic symmetricness. It has been classified into 6 varieties. Okay, this is the entire ground plan like picture of facial nerve paralysis and its causes. Then coming into the Bell's palsy, who is a person who found out the name has been given according to him. This facial nerve palsy is mostly a unilateral one and mostly affects the females because there is a severe hormonal imbalance which results in facial nerve paralysis. It's sudden onset, abrupt loss of muscular tone, inability to smile or close eyes or raise the eyebrows, whistling is not possible. This Buxnatter and mastication process is getting more difficult. Okay, this is a more characteristic one. You've been able to see. In attempt to close the eyelid, eyeball rolls upward, inability to wrinkle the forehead or else or elevate the upper or lower lip, obliteration of nasolabial fold. This is called as nasolabial fold. Face appears distorted and mask-like appearance to the facial features. Speech becomes slurred. Occasionally there is loss of alternative taste. Okay, mostly 60 to 70% of cases will recover from normal process itself, that is neuropraxia. 15% are have to take the proper treatment. Complications mostly a mastication process as speech production is getting difficult. Eye protection is required because due to facial nerve paralysis, what will happen? There is constant exposure of the dust which can result in the corneal ulcer. Patient should be assured with the condition. He has to undergo psychological treatment as well as counseling. Okay, that is a major one. Treatment means counseling in case of facial nerve paralysis. Physiotherapy plays a vital role. He needs a proper, continuous exercise for a prolonged period. Then he can easily recover in a stipulated time period.